Afternoon all. So in the last class we have seen about activation functions, various types of activation functions. In today's lecture we'll see the ANN architectures, that is artificial neural network architectures. So coming to the introduction of this session, this ANN is defined as a data processing system. So simply it needs to be process the data by giving some input data. We need to get the output as a data. Processed data will be sent through this ANN block. So in this process, so the ANN consists of processing elements. As is artificial neural network, those processing elements are called the artificial input neurons, output neurons, hidden neurons. Another in parallel and distributed manner. The information will be distributed manner and the connections will be in the highly parallel connections. Large number of simply highly interconnected processing elements. Those processing elements in this ANN are called the artificial neurons. The system is nothing but the processing system. So generally this ANN structure can be represented using a directed graph. So ANN has neurons, interconnections and directions from where to where the data have to be processed. Those information have to be represented. It's similar to the directed graph. Directed graph means that will say, I think you might have studied in your networks also. So as an example, we'll see the directed graph also. That directed graph with an order of two tuple vertices and E represents the. So this I have considered. So with E represents the vertices and E represents the edges. So each edge is assigned an orientation. There is nothing but direction. By assigning an orientation, it will be directed. The graph will be directed, so that it is called the directed graph or digraph. So whenever we assign some direction or orientation to these edges are nothing but it is similar to the connection links between the vertices or nodes. So when we assign or give the directions, it will be the in neural network theory. Signals in neural network systems are restricted to flow in specific directions. Signals in neural network systems also, the data will be processed from input neurons to hidden neurons and hidden neurons to output neurons, or one neuron to other neuron in the given direction only. The data will be restricted to flow in specific direction, because in the direction of arrow only the data will be processed, like in the directed graph. Directed graph an example to understand the ANN architectures. So if you see here, the vertices of the graph is nothing but it is similar to the neurons in the ANN. Neurons is nothing but either it may be input neuron, output neuron, or a hidden layer. So vertices are similar to the vertices of this directed graph is similar to the neurons of the ANN, and edges are similar to the synaptic links. Synaptic links is nothing but the connection links between the neurons. So those are called the synaptic links. The edges are labeled by the weights attached to the synaptic links. So these edges are given directions as well as the weights. The weights will give the strength of the connections, right? So here labeled by the weights along with the directions, and which is nothing but in the ANN the synaptic links are given with directions as well as the corresponding weights of the synaptic links. So it is similar to that ANN structure. So if you see the example of the diagram, here let us assume this V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5 represent the vertices of this diagram, and E1, E2, E3, E4 and E5 represent the edges of that diagram. So here V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 are the vectors. Vertices vector V is nothing but V1 to V5. Edges vector E is nothing but E1 to V5. The V1 to V5 similar to the neurons in the ANN, and E1 to E5 similar to the synaptic links, and the corresponding weights here it is represented with the E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, and given directions also. V1 need to be send the information from V1 to V3, V2 to V3 as well as V2 to V4. So in the given direction only the data will be processed. So this is an example of the diagram. So these neural networks are classified according to their learning mechanisms. So in various applications, various learning strategies we need to adopt to get the required output. Based on that learning mechanism, these neural networks are classified, and these learning mechanisms or learning strategies we'll see in the further classes. So the following are the fundamental classes of the networks employ the digraph structure for the representation. Similar to the digraph structure, there are three fundamental networks, classified networks. So those are nothing but one is single layer feed forward network, second one is multi-layer feed forward network, third one is recurrent networks. So based on the digraph structure, these are the fundamental ANN architectures. Those architectures are first one is single layer feed forward network, multi-layer feed forward network, third one is a recurrent network. First one is single layer feed forward network. So the single layer feed forward network, it consists of two layers. Those are input layer, one is input layer, another one is output layer. One is input layer, another one is output layer. And input layer neurons receive the input signals, and output layer neurons receive the output signals. So generally whatever the information we are sending it through the input neurons will receive by the output neurons. That's why output layer neurons will receive the output signal, and input layer neurons receive the input signals. So the synaptic links carrying the weights connect every input neuron to the output neuron, but not vice versa. That means the synaptic links carrying the weights, each synaptic link will have corresponding its weight. So it will carry the information or data from input neuron to the output neuron only in the given direction, but not from the output to input. That means every input neuron to the output neuron, but not vice versa. Such a network is said to be feed forward in type or acyclic in nature. That means as information is processing from input to the output only in one direction. That's why it is called the feed forward only. So it is called feed forward network, as it is having multiple connections similar to the bonding cell connections in chemistry. That's why it is acyclic in nature. We'll call that as acyclic in nature. And as information is passing from input to the output neurons only, it is said to be the feed forward network. But if we see that single layer feed forward network has two layers, one is input layer and the other one is output layer. even though it has two layers, why it is named as in single layer feed forward network means we have two layers. The output layer alone performs the computations. Hence it is called the single layer. Based on the computational layers, the name has come. In the single layer feed forward network, only one layer performs the computations. Input layer, simply it will send the information and to receive the information from the users. That's it. So only output layer will do the computations and gives the output. That's why it is called the single layer feed forward network. So here simply the input layer transmits the signals to the output layer only. Hence it is named as a single layer feed forward network. See the architecture of that single layer feed forward network. So it looks like this. Here if you see x1, x2 and so on xn on the left side are called the input neurons, which are there in the input layer, and on the right side if you see y1, y2 and so on ym are called the output layer. So each input neuron is connected with the all output neurons. X1 is connected with y1, y2 and so on ym. X2 is also connected with y1, y2 and so on ym. Xn is also connected with y1, y2 and so on ym. So it is highly parallel connected system. Neural network is highly parallel connected network. So what are the connection links from? The connection links are nothing but x1 to y1. Connection link is there, as well as the direction is also given. So the direction is from x1 to y1. Arrow marks represent the direction of communication from input to output. The corresponding weights of the connection links are represented with the W variable, W11, W12 and so on like that. So W11 means the connection weight between the x1 and y1. For example, if you see the connection link or synoptic link between the x2 and y1, the corresponding weight represented with the W21. Okay. First subscript represent the input neuron, second subscript represent the output neuron number. So x2 to y1 means W21. 2 represent the input neuron, 1 represent the output neuron. Likewise, if you see the xn to y2, the connection link has a weight wn2, because by seeing that weight wn2, the corresponding connection link is between the xn, input neuron n number, output neuron 2 number, between the xn and y2. What is that? Xi and y means xi represent the input neurons, yi represent the output neurons, wij is nothing but the weights of the connection links or synaptic links. So this is all about the single layer feed forward network. Second one is multi-layer feed forward network. So if you see the multi-layer feed forward network, it consists of multiple layers. So namely input layer, intermediate layers called the hidden layers, and output layers. So in any network we can find input layer and output layer. But here, as it is multi-layer feed forward network, in addition to that input and output layer, we have another intermediate layers. Those are called the hidden layers. Those hidden layers may be one or many. That depends on application. We need to choose that architecture, as well as the complexity will also, it will increase as hidden layers are increasing. So here only input layer will send the information to the output layer. Remaining all layers will do the computational task. That's why let us take, along with output layer, if one more one or more layers are doing the computational task means that is called the multi-layer feed-forward network. Feed-forward means the information is processing from the input to the output only in one direction. That's why it is called the feed-forward network. Here, why that multi-layer name has come means because computational tasks are performing by the multiple layers. That multiple layers are nothing but output layer as well as the hidden layers. Both are doing that computational task. That's why it is called the multi-layer feed-forward network. And the next one is the computational units of hidden layer are known as the hidden neurons or hidden units. So the corresponding layer computational units, hidden layer computational units are known as hidden neurons or hidden units, like output neurons, input neurons. Here we have hidden layers computational units are called hidden neurons. In a similar way to the input and output neurons, we are having hidden neurons also to do the computational task. The hidden layer aids in performing useful intermediary computations before directing the input to the output layer. Earlier in single layer network, we are having only input layer and output layer. Whatever the information received by that input layer or provided by the user to the input layer will directly pass on to the output layer. The output layer will receive the information and it will be computed. The computation will be done and will get the output. So only weights need to be adjusted to get the required output in that single layer. But here, as one more layer, hidden layer also there. Yeah, no? Okay. But voice? Okay, otherwise I'll post the same thing now. After I recording this one, I'll post it. Okay. So the hidden is for intermediary computations before directing the input to the output layer. That means the hidden layers are used to improve the performance of the overall system. Improve the performance of the overall system means earlier we need to adjust only the weights, but here you will have multiple weights. The weights may be between the input to the hidden layer and hidden layer to the output also. So likewise, you are having multiple free parameters to adjust to get the over performance or to get the good performance. That's why it's in performing the useful intermediary computations before directing the input to the output layer means this will add some extra computations will be done by these hidden layers to get the good performance. Multi-layer feed-forward network structure looks like this. Along with the on the left side you are having x1, x2 and so on xl up to L input neurons will be there. Those input neurons are there in the input layer. Along and the right side if you see Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on Zn are the output layers. Output layer neurons, output neurons, and intermediary you are having hidden layer. In the hidden layer, the corresponding neurons are Y1, Y2 and so on Ym are the hidden layers. If you see here, the input neurons are not directly connected to the output neuron. Input neurons are connected to the hidden layer neurons. Those are nothing but Y1 to Ym. Each input neuron is connected with the all hidden layer neurons. Like x1 is connected with y1, y2 and so on ym, and x2 is also connected with y1, y2 and so on ym. And all the hidden layer neurons again it is connected in parallel with all the output neurons, that is Z1 to Zn. So the corresponding weights of the connections or synaptic links are the weights of the connection links between the input as well as hidden is nothing but V represented with the Vij. Input hidden layer weights are called input to hidden layer weights are represented with the Vij, and hidden to output layer, hidden layer to output, hidden neurons to output neuron connection links weights are represented with the Wjk, whereas Xi is the input neuron, Yi is the hidden neurons, Zk is the output neuron, where I is varying from 1 to L, J is varying from 1 to M, K is varying from 1 to N in this example. So if you adjust the free parameters between the input layer to the hidden layer, means the performance will be improved from up to hidden layer. From hidden layer to, again you have few more parameters to adjust to get the proper output or to get the good performance in the output side in the output layer. So this is the multi-layer feed-forward network. It can be represented like this. In the input layer, what is this configuration? Configuration means it can be represented with the LMN configuration, multi-layer feed-forward network. That LMN represent the input layer neurons, hidden neurons, as well as output neurons. So if you are adding one more hidden layer, let us take that one more hidden layer is represented with the some alpha. So after first hidden layer, if you are adding one more hidden layer as alpha 1 to some alpha x or alpha m or alpha n value, then L m alpha n. L and n are the input and output neurons. M and alpha are the hidden layer neurons. Likewise, you can provide the multiple hidden layers also, but input and output neurons are the fixed. So if you want to get the, if you want to adjust, if you need to adjust more free parameters, means provide more free parameters, means if you need more computational tasks are required, means you have to go for multiple hidden layers. And by increasing these multiple hidden layers, your complexity of the system also it will increase. Okay. Last one is recurrent networks. The recurrent networks, this also looks like the feed forward network only. Recurrent networks also looks like feed forward network only. As name suggests, like recurrent network, it need to be a repeat. That means it will have some feedback path also. So the feedback loop may be from the output neuron to input neuron or from the output to output itself. So if we find any one feedback link, means then it is called the recurrent network. So these networks differ from the feed forward network architectures in the sense that there is at least one feedback loop. If you find at least one feedback loop in the feed forward network, that becomes the recurrent network. There could exist one layer with feedback connections, and there could also, that means it can be from output to input also. Otherwise, there could also be neurons with self-feedback links also. From output neuron to output neuron itself. Output neuron, let us assume that output neuron as Y1 means Y1 to Y1 also, if it is having feedback link, that is also called as a recurrent network. We see a recurrent neural network architecture looks like this. So where x1, x2 and so on xl are represented with the input neurons, y1 to ym are the hidden neurons, z1 to zn are the output neurons. So if it is z1 is feedback to the x1, in this diagram z1 is feedback, the dotted line represents the feedback links. Z1 is feedback to the x1, z2 is feedback to the x2, and zn is feedback to the xl. So as we have if you have single feedback also, that is treated as a recurrent neural network. But here all the output neurons are feeding back to the input neurons. Even Z1 can be feedback to the, can have the feedback loop as a self feedback loop to the Z1 itself. That also can be treated as a recurrent neural network. So ANN architectures. So thank you.